Wayne White, you're in the show Curious and Curiouser at Heron Galleries. But before that, you worked on Pee-wee's Playhouse, and you're actually responsible for a large part of the feel and look of the show, as well as many of its characters. What was the experience like working on that show?
Well, it was one of the best jobs I've ever had. It was, the fact that it became so popular and the fact that it's been an influence and such a presence in the culture made, in retrospect, it's like, seems like history now, of course, which it is. The time we were doing it, it was just pure fun. What can I say? It was the most fun I've had in any commercial job I've ever done, and it certainly launched 1,000 ships for me. Gave me a lot of, changed my life. Took me out of the illustration, cartooning world and the TV world. So it was a complete life-changing thing. I'm still talking about it all the time to this day. It's one of the things most people want to hear about the most. So what can I say? I mean, it's just easiest to say it was the most fun job I've ever had. I mean, and all the implications that has. I don't know.
Do you feel like the aesthetic sense that was very clear in a lot of the backdrops and such for the show, and a lot of the characters and such, carries over to some of the artwork you do that's made more for galleries and collectors and such?
Well, I would say the same spirit is there. My work is about humor, and I would think Pee-wee was about humor. Yeah. So, yeah, that sense of that sense of humor carries over, definitely. I would say that alone.
In some of your word paintings, you poke fun at dead art superstars such as Judd and Duchamp. You also talk about wanting to merge the fine art world with the humorous. What will it take to make the art world take itself less seriously?
Money and guns. It'll always take itself seriously, because of money, number one. And money always takes itself very seriously. So that's, I don't think I would have it any other way. It's like I like to complain that I'm on the outs and I'm an outsider because I bring humor in and people don't agree with that, and it's a marginal thing. But to tell you the truth, I like being marginal. I enjoy being in that position. So it'll always be a serious thing, art. It comes out of religion, so that's sort of how art was born. So having that religious basis to it, it's always going to be a solemn thing.
Talk a little bit about the paintings you have in this exhibition.
These are paintings from a period of about 6 years, where I was 6, 7 years, starting with some earlier works that are very straight ahead, block type style lettering, and then they evolve into the more twisted, obscure forms of letters that are harder to read but are more like architectural or sort of like wild style graffiti, that period. Right on up to sort of a return to the block letter stuff. There's diptychs and triptychs and even 4-part paintings. So it's sort of a nice little survey of the last 7 years of my word paintings.
You mentioned that you plan to give the word paintings a rest for a while and go back to making puppets. What else does the future hold for you?
Guns and money. No, I'm just kidding. The future holds for me the fact that I'm probably going to be doing more performances of my one-man stage show, which I did here at Heron School last night, and I'm going to be doing for 4 Tuesdays in February at the Largo Theater in Los Angeles. And hopefully we'll be doing more dates after that. I've developed this hour-long monologue that's got pictures and puppets and banjo music and a little bit of animation, and it's become sort of a theater piece more than it started out as a sort of a rambling artist slide talk, and it's become this kind of one-man show. So that's sort of a new project of mine, and my puppet show is going to be on May 11th at Western Projects in Los Angeles. That's going to be a exhibit of puppets, and puppet videos, and miniature puppet theaters, toy theaters, all kinds of puppet stuff, along with paintings and drawings too. So I'm still continuing the word paintings and the puppets and the stage show. All three I love doing.
That's really interesting. I know you were talking about the big electric fan to keep me cool while I sleep. It was a huge puppet, but have you exhibited puppets much before in art galleries or museums?
No, not really. The George Jones Big Electric Fan project in Houston was the kickoff of all that in August 2009. Since then, I've sort of been working up to this show in May. So it's I'm interested in showing the world this side of things, the puppet side of things, which are a big part of my career, a big part of my creative life. I've spent 20 years making puppets and sets, so naturally it's going to come out in the gallery show. Plus I wanted to take a break from the word paintings. I've been doing them for 11 years. I've done all 300 to 400 of them at least, and so that alone sort of merits some kind of break, I think.
Well, best of luck and thank you so much.
My pleasure.